Oh, should be green there. The YouTube should go green. Why is it? Yeah, there we go. It's green. It means we're live. It's going to be a really quick tutorial. So I just saw a video. This, and I was like, we can make this in real time. And let's see if we can create this in real time or something similar. It won't have to. It won't be exact. But we're going to create this Zordon from Power Rangers. So if I open up, to start off with, I need to edit my Ventuz configuration, and I'm going to use a webcam. So I'm going to create a new configuration. I'm just going to call this live webcam. So I've got a webcam plugged into my machine, and I need to okay. So I'm going to add this to my inputs. So there you go. You can see my webcam. Hit OK. It does have a few more options you can play around with. Flip vertically, low latency if you want. Default settings are fine for this. I'm gonna hit save, exit that. Now we'll run designer. That's when that's loading. Oh, I was going to say when that's loading, we could have taken a look at. Yeah, there we go. Let's look at this.
Modern day Zordon effect in After Effects.
So this guy's using track code particles to create this.
And in this quick tutorial,
but we don't want to have to render, so we want to do this in real time. The same effect in real time, or similar. Similar effect. And I had a thought about it. So I haven't played much with the particles, but if I get an axis, and you see now because I've added the webcam into my configuration. If you want to test to see if your webcam's working, you can quickly go here, 2D layer, live video. That's me. Hello. That's a good test. But I'm not going to use a 2D layer for that, so I'm going to delete that for now. So I'm going to stick with this 3D layer. So what I'm going to start off with is so I've got an axis, go to geometry, I'm going to use a particle system, and with that particle system I'm going to start off with a grid. And we can't see anything right now because it's just a grid, but there's no sprite. So if we go here and add a sprite, now you can see the grid as a visual here. So I'll rotate this 90 or something, minus 90. I'm going to just scale this up so we can see it better, so we can see the grid. So if I go here, click on grid, I've got the count, so the X and the Y, very similar to After Effects. It's quite easy to use, so you can do that. So I'm going to just put in a few. I'm going to start off with 50, about 50, and then you can use the size X and Y to space them out. So I'm going to start off with a few and then increase the count and reduce the sprite size. So let's reduce that sprite size. So you see here I've got scale. Okay, just reduce that a little bit. So I want to apply the distort the particles using a live video feed. So I'm going to add a texture, and I'm going to move this just after the so it's in between the grid and the sprite, so it's just after the grid. And if you scroll down here to where it says loader and go to texture properties and choose live feed, there we go. Now you can see me and it's applying me in color. So I've rotated it I think the wrong way around. Oh, okay, just to save me from messing around with all the axes, I'll just place another axis in front of that and just rotate it minus 90. That'll save me some time. So what I can do here is if I click on the texture, you've got color and alpha. If you select this where it says target, so it says target, color and alpha, We got position. You can do size, scale, position. You can play around with all of these. Just experiment. I'm going to do position. Now you can see I'm getting the similar effect as the video really quickly, and it's in real time. We're not rendering anything. However, if I rotate this, it's not popping out. So it's the direction of the displacement and the position we need to change. So right now this is global X. So I changed it to a Y, and now you can see we've got some depth. So if I messed around with just, for example, just there, you can see if I just change the scaling, you can see it's displacing the particles. So we can tweak that. So you got amount, so you can tweak the amount here if you want. Let's look at this head on. There we go. It's pretty cool. But we can do a bit more now. So if we go here, let's click on our grid. Just expand the size a bit more. And scale it a little bit. Yeah. Now I want a few more. Yes, it's a bit more dense now. There we go. Perhaps we spread it out a little bit more. There we go. Just play around until you get something you're happy with. Like so. Can even go in here and change the scale of those particles. It's slightly smaller. There we go. Now, depending on your background, because I have a white background, it's flat. If it was a black background, then get a different effect. But say now we want to do more to this, so I'm going to just, instead of me doing this, I'm going to distort the scaling here on the Z axis, just a bit more. Adds a bit more depth. It looks like it's got more depth now. As I put my hand forward, you can see it's pushing forward. And then I'll scale all just to fill the screen. There we go. What I can do as well, if I go here and we add another module. So let's add a gradient. So we're going to add a gradient. Again, I'm going to reposition this so it's just after the live video feed that we added. And I'm going to change the age to color. Was it color in alpha? Let's see. I believe it is color in alpha. We'll see. What was it position? Let me check. Yeah, might be position. I'll just experiment right now. The blue. So, let's try the Y. So I'll change the Y now. So where's the amount? There should be a scaling. So it's using almost like the depth, the camera. The gradient should be working on depth. Let's see if we can get two different colors. There we go. Yeah, and as I pull my hand back, it's blue. So now I can play around with these scale values here. So you see this scale here, the scale value as I changed it. Further, back, up, bring it down. More. You just gotta keep on tweaking these values until you're happy with it. It must also be my lighting that's affecting that, but that's kind of cool. So now we can go back to this kind of bluey gradient. I'm going to edit that. I'm trying to keep this really short tutorial. I might go for that greeny greeny look that he had. Oh, interesting. Can see my face a bit better the closer I am to the camera. Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah. Maybe we go for a different color then. There we go. That's kind of cool. Nice, cool effect. And of course, you can move this around. You can see. Cool. It's a fun little effect. Hopefully, it's useful. Or you can do it the other way, invert it. So you could. Yes. Go. Kind of like that. I kind of prefer that. Can also give a little extra movement. So the only movement that we see in the particles is the actual. That's just the flickering in the light in the camera feed. But we could actually have some more movement if we added some noise, maybe. Place that in front. There. That's way too extreme. So you could reduce the amount easily. Or you say you wanted to add a transition between the two, you could easily. So it could be all scattered, and then your video forms. You could do so much. It's crazy. Yeah. So I'm just gonna scale all on that. Oh, the other way. One fewer or more. No. This. Ooh, that's too distorting. There we go. So you see we've got the phase. And if I drag the phase, you can see a little wobble here if you watch this area. It's tiny, very subtle. What you can do is just have a mover on it. You could have it maybe, let's see what happens if I do a linear 60 and slow that duration down a lot. Very subtle. And of course you can play around with the particles, so the sprite itself you can play around with. So it don't have to be these circle particles. It can be a different texture, so we can go in here. If we click on the textures, loader, and we can apply little crosshairs. We can use a crosshair, just adjust the scale on there. Yeah, play around. Pretty cool. And then say on top of that we want to add in some, where is it? Effects. Effects. Give it a glare. Boost here. Comes I can't see nothing right now. There we go. I'm gonna hold Control Shift just to drag the values. Boost that gain. Kind of cool. I might add in distortion and put a barrel maybe. Oh. Actually, I might change the color. I don't like the green anymore. I'll kind of go the blue. I like the blue, but I think it needs to be a bit darker then. And then this lighter side, change that. Let's see. I kind of like that. But yeah, you can tweak the colors, It's kind of cool. And add the effects on top, if you want. You can even color grade it here. You don't even have to use oh, I'm changing the blues right now. Yeah, but yeah, you can mess around with all the effects on top. If you want as well, you can add the extra bloom on here. You've got the extra bloom. Bloom. I like bloom. See if we can see any. Can't see anything happening right now. Oh, there we go. That's kind of cool. Of course, yeah. This just experimenting around, playing around. Try different things. Hopefully that was something useful, a bit fun. Turn that wrap on if you wanted, then you can play around with all that. Actually, that's the wrong one. Yeah. Let's say, what happens if we said black border? No, let's try white border. Oh, convert it. I'm upside down. Can change the UV mapping on that. Okay, let's see what this does. Oh, that's cool. That's kind of cool. Hey, kind of cool. I don't know. You can do so many things with that. So many settings you can play around with. Of course, you can change the number of cats. And it doesn't have to be a sprite even. You could go here, add, and choose like a mesh. Could be made out of a mesh. We'll go down here. I'll just go do a simple scale. So I can scale all of those down. We've got so many. Those are all little cubes now. If we zoom in, you'll see they're all little 3D cubes. Pretty cool. I really like the particle system. And we can do a lot of stuff with this, I'm sure. I'm just going to go back to the sprites for now. Oh, actually, let's try it. Let's see what happens when we do lines. Ooh, that's kind of cool too. The line effect. Let's go in here. We change the spacing. There's a ton of effects you can create. Ridiculous. Too many options. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if I put so much detail. Let's see how far I can go. Whoa. That is insane. I think that's cool. Gotta be sensible about how many particles you're using, depending on your project build, but if it was just this, you'd get away with it. I mean, kinda cool. Now if I went back to the sprites with that many, I'm gonna reduce the size. A lot of particles right there. Lots of particles. That's cool. Yeah. Try different things out. Experiment. Say 100. 100. And my particles are too small. There we go. Cool. I'm going to end it here. Just a quick tutorial. Wasn't too long. Nice. Messing around with particles and a live feed. Remember, you can use other things rather than live feed. You could use a movie clip, textures, so many things. Yeah. Okay, bye. Let's end this.